There is something in you that cannot be bought. It cannot be studied into existence. It cannot be accelerated by ambition, or manufactured by intelligence, or produced by any amount of effort applied by someone who has not yet paid the price it costs. It is not available at any age before the one you are at now. And the world, in its endless fascination with what is young and new and full of untested possibility, has done a remarkable job of convincing you that what you have is worth less than what you no longer have. That is one of the great inversions of our time. And today, I want to turn it back over. Because what you carry right now, at this point in your life, after everything you have been through, and everything you have survived and everything you have learned in the only way that real learning happens, which is by living it, by losing it, by getting it wrong and trying again and paying the full price of a life genuinely engaged, what you carry right now is not the remnant of something greater. It is the thing itself, finally, fully formed, available in a way it has never been before. And you have been treating it like a liability. I want to talk to you about what you actually have, not in abstract terms, not in the language of inspirational sentiment that sounds good and lands nowhere. In real terms, the specific, nameable, irreplaceable things that are in you right now that no young person on this earth possesses and cannot possess, no matter how gifted or driven or full of potential they are. The first is perspective, not the word, the actual thing. The ability to stand inside a situation and see it from a distance that only years create. The young see their lives from inside them, which means they cannot see the shape of them. They cannot see where a path leads because they have not yet walked far enough to look back. They cannot distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, because urgency and importance feel identical when you have not yet lived long enough to watch urgent things become irrelevant, while important things prove their staying power over decades. You can see that. You have earned the distance that makes it visible, and that distance is not detachment, it is clarity. The particular, hard-won clarity of someone who has watched enough cycles to know which ones matter and which ones only seem to. The second is an understanding of loss that changes everything about how you inhabit what remains. The young know that loss exists. They have encountered it, but they have not yet learned what you have learned. That loss is not only what it takes, it is also what it reveals. That the things which survive loss are the only things worth organizing a life around. That the stripping away of what was not essential, however painful, is also a kind of gift. A clarification. A way of arriving finally at what is real. You know what is real. You know it in a way that cannot be argued into existence by someone who has not yet been through enough to find it. And knowing what is real is not a small thing. It is the foundation of every decision worth making, every relationship worth having, every moment worth being present for. The third is freedom. A specific kind of freedom that is only available to people who have finished proving themselves, who have nothing left to demonstrate to the world about their worth or their capability or their right to take up space. The young are in the middle of that proof. They are performing constantly for the world and for themselves, establishing the case for their own significance. That performance is exhausting and necessary, and they cannot skip it. But you are on the other side of it. You have proven what needed to be proven. You have established what needed to be established. And what that leaves you with, if you're willing to claim it, is the extraordinary freedom of someone who no longer needs the world's approval to feel justified in their own existence. That freedom is not nothing. It is one of the rarest things a human being can possess. And it is yours right now, available and waiting, if you will stop measuring yourself by the standards of a proving you already completed and start inhabiting the life that exists on the other side of it. The fourth is depth. The particular unmanufacturable depth of a person who has lived long enough to have been wrong about important things and learned the cost of that wrongness. Who has loved people and lost people and discovered, through the losing, what love actually is underneath the feelings. Who has failed at things that mattered and survived the failure and found, in the surviving, something more durable than the thing that failed. That depth cannot be simulated. It cannot be performed convincingly by someone who does not have it. It shows in the quality of presence you bring to a conversation, in the way you listen, in the particular weight of what you say when you say something real. It shows in the ability to sit with another person in their pain, without trying to fix it, because you have sat in your own pain and learned that it does not always need to be fixed. Sometimes it needs only to be witnessed. You carry all of this, right now, today. And here is what I need you to understand about why this matters so urgently. These things, the perspective, the understanding of loss, the freedom from proving, the depth, they are not passive. They do not do anything on their own. They are available to you, but they are not automatically in use. They are like a tool of extraordinary precision, sitting in a drawer, doing nothing, while you go on living as if you were still the person who had not yet acquired it. The tragedy is not in not having these things. You have them. The tragedy would be in having them and never using them. In arriving at the end of your life with everything you earned through all those years of living and leaving it unclaimed. In carrying the most valuable thing you have ever possessed through the years that remain without ever letting it do what it was built to do. What was it built to do? To live with, fully, without apology, without the diminishment that the world tries to impose on people your age, without the self-imposed smallness of someone who has accepted the lie that what they have is worth less than what they had. It is worth more, not less, more, because what you have now is finished, refined, real in a way that potential, however bright, is not yet real. Potential is a promise. What you carry is the delivery. The world is not going to tell you this. The world is too busy celebrating what is new to stop and honor what is complete. So I'm telling you, what you have is not the shadow of what you were. It is the fullest version of what you have always been, and it deserves a life built around it. Not around what is gone, not around the years behind you, not around the comparison between what is now and what was then. Around what is here, present, yours, more powerful than you have allowed yourself to believe. Stop treating what you have as a consolation prize for what you lost. It is not a consolation. It is the inheritance of a life fully lived, and it is yours to spend, freely, completely, without apology, on whatever years remain. Own it. Not quietly, not tentatively, not with the hesitation of someone who is not sure they have the right. You have the right, you earned it. Own it now. I want to be specific about what owning it actually looks like, because owning it is not a feeling. It is not a mindset to be adopted, or an attitude to be maintained. It is a series of choices, made in real moments, that either honor what you carry, or quietly betray it. It looks like walking into a room and not making yourself smaller than the room requires. Not out of arrogance, out of the settled authority of someone who has been somewhere and done something, and learned things that cannot be learned any other way. The young fill rooms with energy. You fill them with weight, real weight. The kind that changes the texture of a conversation simply by being present in it. It looks like speaking when you have something to say, and not prefacing it with apologies for the years behind the words. The years behind the words are not a liability to be apologized for. They are the source of whatever value the words contain. They are what makes what you say different from what someone half your age would say on the same subject. They are the evidence of a life engaged rather than a theory proposed. It looks like investing in what remains with the same seriousness you brought to everything that came before. Not less, not the scaled-back, proportionate to remaining years approach that the lie about aging recommends. The same. Because the years ahead deserve the same quality of presence and attention and honest engagement that any other years deserved. They are not lesser years. They are not years to be managed carefully toward a quiet conclusion. They are years to be lived. It looks like refusing, clearly and without guilt, to treat yourself as someone whose best contributions are behind them. Because the most important contribution you have left to make is the one that only the person you have become can make. Not the younger version, not the version with more energy or more time or more of whatever the world prizes in the early chapters. The version with everything you have right now. Refined, present, fully formed. That version has something to offer that has never been offered before. In any room you have ever been in any relationship you carry, in any moment still ahead of you, because there has never been a version of you like the one that exists right now.